Hello guys, back again with another tennis podcast. I said in the last video that this video will be focusing on the finals day of Wimbledon, which took place Saturday, which was the women's final, and Sunday, which was the men's final. So on Saturday, it was between Garbine Muguruza of Spain against Venus Williams of the USA. And in the men's final, we had Roger Federer of Switzerland against Marin Cilic of Croatia. So on Saturday, we had one of the greats in Venus Williams against Garbine Muguruza, who was in the Wimbledon final 2 years ago against the younger sister of Serena, but she wasn't able to overcome the younger sister 2 years ago. This time she had a chance against the older sister, Venus Williams, and for her it was pretty much a surprise for her to be in the final, as it's usually her sister who dominates the competition and gets to the end. So my good friend Zach watched the tennis, both finals, and he's going to give his verdict on what he thought of both finals. So Zach, what did you make of the women's final which took place on Saturday?
I think it was really tense. Like the first set between that match, I'd say it was really close between each player. Venus Williams was hitting loads of winners as well as Muguruza, and they were both cancelling each other out. They were playing really solid games at the beginning, but I think the second set, Muguruza, she had more composure, she had more persistence, and she played really well, and she controlled that whole set. She overrode Venus Williams in that second set, and I think she gave up. In a way, I say coming into this tournament, obviously she had that incident of the car crash, and I think she really handled that as a professional to come through all their matches and to come into the final. But I think Muguruza, she had already anticipated this situation, and I think she acclimatized to the situation compared to in 2015 when she played Serena Williams. I think she was really like a newcomer. I think now she's at a good age, 21, 22, to win Wimbledon, and I think she really played really top tennis to win her first Wimbledon.
So looking at Venus Williams in that first set, there was a huge comparison between the first set and the second set. Venus Williams was right in the match in the first set, but she gave up on her serve, and Muguruza took the first set 7-5. But going into the second set, do you think it was Venus Williams a lapse in concentration, or do you think Muguruza was just too good and Venus Williams had no reply?
I think she was too good. I think Muguruza playing at that high intensity and playing at that level, that close encounter in the first set. I think after that close encounter in the first set, I think Muguruza got to the tempo, and she was producing the amazing shots and taking Venus Williams at times off a court with the winners, and she was controlling all the rallies and dictating all the points. And I think all the pressure was on Venus Williams. I think she wasn't quite up to it because there's a big age difference, an age gap between Muguruza and Venus Williams. Muguruza was like 21, 22, whilst Venus Williams is like, I think, 37, coming to the end of her career and coming to them tail end years.
So when looking at our early years, when we watched tennis about, say, 10 years ago, we'd say that Venus Williams was one of the best in the women's game. But over the last 5 to 7 years, her younger sister, Serena Williams, has dominated the sport, winning almost every single Grand Slam and holding all Grand Slams in 1 year. And she's dominated the sport, really, in women's tennis. Do you think, on a sad note, it's time to say goodbye to Venus Williams due to the fact that she's 37 and most likely we won't see her lifting Wimbledon again, because it's most likely going to be dominated by the youngsters such as Muguruza, and Serena Williams is going to be back much stronger next year?
I'd say Serena Williams and Muguruza are going to dictate probably women's tennis. Obviously, Serena Williams, she's dictated over a number of years. She overtook Venus Williams' crown and her reign over women's tennis. Venus Williams obviously was the first sister to really control and take over tennis, and Serena Williams took that over, and she's done it over a number of years. I say Venus Williams, I think because obviously Serena Williams, she had her baby, she was going through a pregnancy, and she wasn't able to play in this year's Wimbledon. I say Venus Williams kind of took that place, and I think she had this chance. She's had these openings to try and win a Grand Slam like this Wimbledon, and I think she couldn't really quite grasp that opportunity like she may have in the past.
And on a final note on Wimbledon and women's tennis, what did you make of the prospects of the Britain's prospects of Johanna Konta and Heather Watson? Would you say they made good progress and it was a good learning curve for them and a good tournament?
Yeah, I say that Johanna Konta, she played really, really well, and she really played like her best. You could tell that from the matches that she played, she was playing her best tennis, and she was giving it all. I think she really trained well this year, and she got to a really good level of tennis. Her fitness, everything, it was really, really top for women's tennis, and it was really like at the peak of women's tennis. So that's probably the reason why she got into the semi-final. Obviously, she got a really high ranking. I think she's ranked 6 or 7 in the world. So I think she's really playing high level of tennis throughout this tennis season. That's probably explained by the fact that she got into the semi-final. And Heather Watson, as you say, she played really well, but she didn't have the like compared to other women who may have stronger shots and may have more power. I think she really struggles against them. She got out to, I think, Azarenka. I think she doesn't really have that like the level of tennis. She can't play at a high level of tennis consistently throughout a full match like Johanna Konta does. She has more discipline and more like persistence.
Okay, so moving on to the men's final, which took place on today actually. It was between Roger Federer. We all know what he brings to the table in these big matches in the Grand Slams final. He's been there so many times. The occasion never seems to overcome him. He's so calm, so cool. He has everything under control. He was up against Marin Cilic of Croatia this year. He's never been to a Wimbledon final before, and it's sad to say, but it's no embarrassment losing to Roger Federer in the final, but it's sad to say that this final wasn't as great as of the finals of some of the previous years. But would you say Marin Cilic was overcome by the occasion, or was it Roger Federer was just simply too good for him?
I think it's a mixture of both. Like it's like culmination of both. I say Federer, he came in really with a really cool and professional attitude. The fact that he's been through Wimbledon finals before, he time in time out, I think that went through his mind, and he just had that level-minded approach to just play out the game and concentrate on each point and play out each point in the best way possible. I think Federer, he was thinking of moving. Like obviously he's played a lot of points, he's played a lot of tennis throughout his career. So in that match, I think he was taking each point by each point and just moving on from each point, giving his best in each point and moving forward. And I think that mentality that went throughout the whole game, and that's probably the reason why he beat Marin Cilic in 3 sets. And Marin Cilic, he had this regressing attitude where he'd think about the previous points and what he could have done better, like what shots he could have played much better than. So I think with that attitude, with that pessimistic attitude, I think that kind of played his chances of winning Wimbledon down. And I think that's probably the reason why he got overawed by Federer. It was such a landslide victory.
So that's for Roger Federer. That's 8 Wimbledon titles now. He always seems to deliver on the big occasions. But I think this one would mean a lot to him due to the fact that he's taken time off the sport, and due to the fact that he won Wimbledon quite a few years ago now. Again, just shows the dedication, the motivation for the sport which he has, and still at this age of 37 to try and win major titles. Do you think playing off the French Open really?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
He's 35, turning 36. Just trying to correct you, basically.
Yeah, so Roger Federer, 37 years of age now, and winning Wimbledon again means so much to him. As we know, he could have stopped a long time ago, but the passion he has for tennis just shows that he keeps on delivering on the big stage. And to be honest, there's no surprise there because he's been there so many times. Do you think we'll see Roger Federer defend the title next year, or do you think all the other top seeds will be back, such as Andy Murray, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal?
I think they will come back, but what if it's Roger Federer? He's dedicated his whole career towards tennis, and he's really shone in tennis, and he's made it like part of his life. Like it's like a life activity and life achievement at the end of the day. So Federer, he's not going to give in, and he's going to play until he's got his last legs, literally. Like Federer, until he can't play tennis at all. He's not in the shape, fitness, anything to play tennis. I think until he basically can't win any Grand Slam, like it's physically impossible for Federer. I think then he'll give up. I think Federer, he's finally found the right mix of what he needs to do basically in terms of fitness wise. He's found the formula to perform well, even though he's aging. So it's like almost like he's getting younger. Almost, everyone's thinking to himself when they watch Federer right now, and in the Australian Open, that it's like he's almost gone a few years younger, like almost his fitness wise.
So
Yeah.
Wimbledon has come to a conclusion this year, guys, and it's sad to say, but I'd say this year has been a bit of a letdown compared to previous years. There's not been that many great matches, and I think if we've seen Andy Murray in the final, it maybe have been a more intriguing spectacle. But it's sad to say that Wimbledon wasn't as good this year. Well, for me personally, I didn't find it as enjoyable as it usually is. But Zach, did you feel the same in this, or did you feel like there was something missing, or it just didn't feel like there was something missing in this Wimbledon compared to previous years?
I think it was the other draw, not the Federer side. Don't take nothing away from Federer. Federer played some majestic tennis. Like he never dropped a set throughout the whole tournament. So I think he deserved to play in the final. But I think the final could have been a much sterner test for Federer if one of the higher ranked players like Andy Murray or Rafael Nadal got through. If they went through to the final, then it would have been a much better and much more competitive game between two players. I say like if it was Rafael Nadal versus Federer, that would have been a really, really amazing spectacle and really like a real tense game basically. It might have been like a repeat of the game that they played before, like that marathon game. Remember that game? I think it was in 2009, 2008. That was just an amazing game. And that's what I was kind of hoping this year. I was hoping for a Nadal Federer Wimbledon repeat again.
It's been great getting your view on this year's Wimbledon. Now I'm going to have to ask you, if you were to say one highlight of this year's Wimbledon, any game, any particular point, any shot that you've seen, anything to do with Wimbledon, what would be your highlight of this year's tournament if you had to pick one?
My highlight would be I think it was Rafael Nadal's one of his forehands that he hit. It was literally down the line and on the left hand side and hit it right down the line, and everyone was like overawed. I say some of Federer's points, some of the shots that Federer was putting out, like some of the top spin that he was getting on some of his shots from his forehand. I think it was really, really mind-boggling. So yeah, but yeah, Federer. I've got to give Federer to win 8 times. I think that's a really, really amazing accolade. Like something that he set a precedent for all the other tennis players in the future, and he's a really, really amazing sports person and a role model to look up to for the younger generation.
I'd have to agree with you there. Federer's he always delivers. But for me, this year's highlight of Wimbledon would have to be the match between Gilles Muller of Luxembourg and Rafael Nadal, and the 15-13 tiebreak. Usually every year there's one really long game, and this year it was that game, which was for 4 hours and 48 minutes, if I remember right. It was a brilliant game to watch, but it was so sad to see Nadal having to head out of the tournament. But yeah, guys, it's been another interesting debate between the two of us on tennis, and that's Wimbledon over for this year. But over the next coming few weeks, the Premier League season is only 3 to 4 weeks away, and the pre-season is almost finished. Every club is almost finished their business in the transfer market. So we'll be doing a few more videos on the transfers which take place in the up and coming weeks. And then from, I think the first game day is 11th of August, Arsenal versus Leicester City. We'll be doing a weekend's preview show of them games and aftermath show. And I'll most likely have my boy Zach on the show again, giving his verdict.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Yeah, it's been great. Are you looking forward to United, and what? Just give me a quick, brief line on the signing of Romelu Lukaku. You'd like to say about him?
He played really well. I say yesterday, I think he played a really good team play before his first debut. I think he could have scored, and that's the one disappointment I had as a fan. That's the only resentment I had, like, as a fan. But yeah, it was a really good performance from United. 2-5-2, good opening performance. Also speaking of Arsenal, I say Arsenal, Lacazette, he looks really bright for Arsenal, and it should be really bright for Arsenal fans.
Yeah, guys, I really look forward to having some more debates as the season goes on. It's going to be a roller coaster of a season, and there's going to be many turning points and so many discussion points. So yeah, guys, I hope you subscribe to the channel, like, try and support the channel if you can, and I hope you're enjoying the content which is being brought 2 to 3 times a week. So that's it for today's stream, guys. Thank you.